Teaching is not a lost art, but the regard for it is a lost tradition, said the French-American historian Jacques Barzon. This is true as many still see the teacher profession at a lower status compared to other professions such as doctors and lawyers. This should not be the case, as the teacher is arguably the most important profession in a society, because to become any profession begins with a teacher. As a result of disregarding the teacher profession, many schools are hiring teachers who are mediocre or even worse. This affects many students' quality of education around the world. The fundamental parts of what makes an education are the teacher and the students. We believe that more emphasis should be put towards these two variables. The issue of low quality of teaching in classes and the lack of good teachers for many students lead to a lower quality of education. By improving this, quality of education can potentially be improved.
Why the number of teachers and quality of teaching is so important? Today, millions of children do not have access to the quality education all over the world. Some of the important causes of this situation are lack of teachers and low quality of teaching. This is because if there is no enough number of teachers, children cannot enjoy education even if they have the opportunity to go to school. Moreover, in the case that quality of teaching is low, it cannot be said that children have access to the education in the real sense. In the global level, most people who have received education for 5 to 7 years are literate. However, in the schools which lack teachers or can only provide low quality education, it is not the case. It is quite hard for illiterate people to get a high salary job, and most of them are likely to have low salaried manual jobs. Talking about the global trend about education problem, the United Nations has been putting emphasis on the quality education, which is one of the SDGs, stand for Sustainable Development Goals. SDGs are a collection of 70 global goals set by United Nations General Assembly in 2015. The goals are related to poverty, health, education, climate change, gender, and so on. Nowadays, when the society deals with education problem, quality of education is frequently mentioned in the context of SDGs. Therefore, it is obvious that quality education is quite a significant topic in the global level too. Today, 103 million youth lack basic literacy skill, and 6 of 10 children and adolescents are not achieving a minimum level of proficiency in reading and math. I believe it's already enough for you to recognize the importance of education problem we are facing.
From all the ideas we have thought about during our design thinking process, we decided to choose the one which focuses on students who are studying to become teachers and their practical education. More specifically, our whole idea is students studying to work as teachers in the future should do their practical part of education not in their own countries but abroad, more specifically in less developed countries which face the problem with lack of teachers or low quality teaching. Let me explain in more detail. At least in the Czech Republic, students who will in the future engage in the teaching profession have to spend at least one semester in schools where they practice their teaching skills and prepare for their future job. Since this practical training is a compulsory part of their education, why couldn't they do it abroad?
In the classes abroad, the student could teach not only the student there, but could also, and probably more importantly, show the teacher the practices which they learned during the studies, which could potentially improve the teaching skill of the teacher in the less developed countries. This could lead to the children dropping out of school and higher literacy rate. Not only the solution would contribute to solving the problem with the lack of and low quality of teacher, it would also lead to a greater cultural understanding among people. The student going abroad could explore, get to know, and engage in another culture, which would significantly broaden their horizons and improve their soft skills. Moreover, the accepting school, its student and teacher could similarly benefit from its culture exchange.
Our solution for language and culture barrier is that we dispatch students in our program to countries that have similar language structure or cultures that are similar to where students come from, such as Latin American countries. Also, our advisors in destination countries are able to communicate in English, since every partner school of our program are selected by considering if that school is friendly for those who cannot speak local languages. About the cost, our program will provide round-trip plane tickets and accommodation for those who prefer staying at dorm. Students who chose the same school around the world will stay in the same area, so we can guarantee students' security at some extent. Our program also holds travel trips during school break twice a year so that students will not have to be worried about the travel fee. Students will be able to enjoy country's culture by traveling with local people and exchange culture with them.